won't let go. We're having difficulties. There it is. Difficulties. Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, He is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, He is my song. You are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in my waves. Oh, He is my song. Let the King of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo in my days. Oh, He is my song. You are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good. No, you're never gonna let me down. No, you're never gonna let me down. No, He's never gonna let you down. No, He's never gonna let you down. No, you are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, and when the night is holding on to me, God, you're still holding on. And when the night is holding on to me, God, He's still holding on. 'Cause you are good, good. Oh, He is good. He's good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good. Yes, you're so good to me. Yes, you are good. No, you never let me down. No, you are good, good. Oh.
All right. How good is He? How good is He today? Allowed us to wake up, allowed us to get up, allowed us to yes, thank you. Special thanks to Rainey. She gets to play the piano on our Sundays. Yeah. You know, how good is God? Really, I mean, He's awesome. What has He done for you lately? You know, He's just, man, words can't express how good God is to us. You know, want to make sure. Okay, today's lesson or today's talk is about a seed. And I need some of my green thumbers. I'm not a green thumb. The planners. I'm gonna need some help today. How many of you guys have a green thumb? Anybody? I know, you know, kind of, sort of, green thumb. You know, how many of us plant things? And we sent out a question this week of what's your favorite plant? I think we had some stargazers. What's your favorite flower? Some sunflowers. We have a lot of those things, and in order to get these things to go, And in order to get these things to grow, Destiny started an herb garden. She said, negative. In order to get these things to grow, you need to do things. You can't just throw out some seeds and say, all right, let's go, grow it. You need some sun. You need some flowers. Some flowers. You need some sun. You need some water. You need some seed. You need some food. Some fertilizer. But the most important thing that you need is good soil. Right? Give me some thumbs up. Good soil. Good soil creates a good base for your plant, or for your fruit, or for whatever you're growing. That's what it takes to grab a hold. I got hearts that's telling me yes. So you need good soil to start off with. That's the foundation. That's the everything right there. And when I started talking and I started thinking about these things, is in Matthew 13. I started to kind of just really think about what to talk about, and the Spirit gave me this parable that Jesus talked about. And when we started talking about it, and I started to think about it, is at this time right now that we're in right now, this time that we're living in. We're gonna say, I seen something that said that we're gonna be able to tell our kids that we lived in the great toilet paper depression. The great toilet paper depression. In 2020, our great grandkids could say that we lived in my day, we almost ran out of toilet paper. And back in the days,
no toilet paper,
right? My grandparents,
we had to wear some mask everywhere we went,
right? And and my grandparents, they always say, well, I had to walk to school, so many miles in the snow and all these things. Now it's like, well, in my day, I almost ran out of toilet paper. So go figure. So we talked about this as we go into it, and when we start talking about what days we're living in, it's important to have good foundation, a good soil, so that way the seed of God and the seed of the Bible and the seed of the Word can get rooted into your heart.
Yes.
Yes.
Very important.
So we start, and let me go into verse, and again, I'm in Matthew 13, and you can read Matthew 13, 1 through 23, but I'm just going to break down some scriptures. Matthew 13 says that, and I'm going to go to verse 4. I'm going to jump to verse 4. Matthew 13, verse 4 says that, I'm going to go to 3. Then he spoke many things to them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went out to sow. So a farmer went out to throw out his seeds. And as he threw out his seeds, some seed fell on wayside, and the birds came and devoured it. So I love the Bible because it'll turn around and a lot of us kind of like, well, what's that mean? Well, when you start to throw out, what eats seeds? Birds. When you start to throw out seeds, some birds will come and they're going to take it. Right? They're going to come and eat it up because they're looking for food. And in verse 19, so as I jump to the same chapter, the verse, it says that when anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is he who receives the seed, receives by the wayside. So you start to think about these things. And as you start, have you ever been to, and I've got this in my notes, but when you start to get good news, or you start to have a good time in God, and you start to get all these things, have you ever noticed that there's always someone that comes in and sees the negative in that situation? Right?
Yeah. We've had a lot of that this week.
You start to you start to feel good about yourself. Man, I got toilet paper on sale and all these things, and and then you got someone that comes in and just brings a damper. And it's like, well, it's already all in stock. Or you got some good news from work, and you have someone that comes in and just floods you with all this negativity, and it goes back down to, because there's people that are trying to steal your joy, or starting to steal our joy. In this time, it's hard to be joyful, but I see some people on there, we still have joy. We're still receiving the joy. But you have other people that come in with this negativity and these negative moods and all these things and people that go to church on jealousy, right? You have you ever noticed when you go to church and you get a blessing, right away as soon as you step outside those doors, boom, you just get bombarded and attacked with all these things or these negative thoughts that come into your mind and all these things? That's it right there. That's what happens.
Or a text.
Or a text message or a phone
something
call
that was waiting for you to step outside those doors to just hit you so you can just go and, you're in church and you come out and you need to, open up messages or whatever. And sometimes things are just like boom, boom, boom. And it just completely throws your vibe off to where you just forgot where you came out of, So I think we're just concentrated on the negative.
And it goes into like how let's go into diet. A lot of people diet. A lot of people working out. Have you ever noticed that when you're dieting, everybody wants to offer you food? Have you ever noticed that, like, you stop wanting, oh man, I'm not going to drink anymore. I don't want to do drugs. I don't want to do this. And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to give you
stuff for free.
Stuff for free all of a sudden?
All of a sudden, they want to mess you.
No one ever wants to give you stuff for free. But now all of a sudden, everybody wants to give you free stuff. And this is the trick. These are things and I'm going to get into it. In verse 5, let's jump to verse 5. Verse 5 says, some of the seeds fell on stone places where they did not have much earth or much good soil, and they immediately sprang up, but because they had no depth of earth, they died. And then I'm going to jump into verse 19, because verse 19 breaks it down. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is he who received the seed on a stony place. This is he who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. You start to hear these things, and we got into it a little bit, is when someone gives you when you feel good, after a lunchtime talk, you feel good. And you're like, man, I feel like I'm accomplished right now. And then someone comes in and calls you or tells you something that just brings you down. It steals your joy. And the Bible says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. We got to hang on to that joy. Find your joy place. Find that place where you can say, you know what, not today. Not today, Satan. You hear that. Not today, Satan.
Yeah, I think even sometimes it could be, even in your own home, I was telling him that the negativity, it feeds. It feeds it, and it loves to grab your attention. It loves to feed it. That's what it thrives on. It thrives on bringing you down, and it thrives on just spreading. It could spread into a room, and you can get so caught up in that, and that's just what it loves to do. And sometimes we tend to go into that, and we forget, and we have to be able to pull yourself out from there, even if it means getting out, going and taking a walk, just removing yourself from that situation. You
got to get back into the foundation, get back into the thoughts. And Peter was a follower. And Jesus told him, get behind me, Satan.
And sometimes, I'm sorry, you have to do that to your family. There's times where I say, you know what? You get behind me. Nope, I'm not going for that today.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. If you're going to be negative, you need to go.
That's
and
not
sometimes
me that's negative. I don't usually.
Sometimes, you have to do that. Just say, you know what? Oh, okay, yeah, okay, bye. You got to just wave the hand, say bye.
You don't put your hand up. Don't put your hand up. Don't put your hand up.
No, I'm just kidding. But you do have to remove yourself.
You do have to remove yourself and get back to your peace. Get back to that joy. Get back into it. Sometimes you do, and again you do. Your kids get on your nerves or whatever, because right now we're all home. So your kids start to get on your nerves, and you got to sit there and say, you know what? Woosah, not today, Satan. Let me get back into, because I know it's not you. I know it's the trick. Kick rocks. It's not you, but I got to make sure that I got to deal with me, because at the beginning at the end of everything, I can deal with me. I can only, I'm responsible for me. In verse 5, let's go in that.